The mission of CHSS was create safer places, safer communities for community members, specifically for the West Side.
We envision a community where the issue of domestic violence is no more, and where each community member is able to own the issue and be involved in creating safer and healthier communities.
Because it's not just addressing one situation, but it's taking on the issue of domestic violence and violence as a whole. So someone who is involved in a domestic violence relationship, whether they're perpetrator or victim, they could use services. If it's someone that's a child and witnessing it, or a friend that's witnessing dating violence, they need the services because it raises their awareness, and that they can help in the prevention and the intervention of it.
It's starting to take off. Like, our partners are making outside partnerships, our services and our events are expanding, which is exactly what we need.
I think we've all learned as being a part of the consortium that our CHSS partnership has increased our combined awareness of IPV, which has brought forth so many ideas and so many ways for all of us to come together as a consortium to create many activities and different events for our communities to take a part of, and for all of us to come together to work together to promote healthy individuals, which in turn creates healthy relationships within others and within people, and which later I found that it's increased our healthier community bonds, which in turn is creating safer and healthier communities. And that's our whole mission.
The responses that we got from the community when we began engaging with the community members initially was suspicion. They told us that they'd had so many researchers and outsiders come into their community telling them that they had a problem, but leaving as soon as the funding was up. But as the talk stories came about, and they started to talk about what intimate partner violence looked like in their communities, and shared stories around what they had done successfully to either interrupt or prevent it. They got excited about the possibility of continuing to share those stories of success with other community members.
When I went to my first meeting with the CHSS and I saw the different faces and the different people that was out there, it was that moment that I thought to myself that, hey, if they're doing something, why can't I not do something too?
One of the pivotal moments that I remember is when we had a retreat with Ali and La'Akea Healing Services. We were able to reflect on some of the work that we've been doing in the community. Also, a couple of our partners shared about how difficult sometimes this work can be. And what I saw there is a validation that sometimes the work that we do, we feel like we're alone. But this is a work that is shared, and the dream of being able to see healthier and safer communities is a shared vision amongst many of our communities.
What CHSS does that's unique to them, it just helps to create a culture where everyone wants to get involved, where relationships aren't just to get things done, but they're genuine, they're real. Partners can laugh together and even surf together and eat with their hands together. We can do all kinds of awesome things together. And so when you have that type of atmosphere that people are invested in, that relationships are real, then the work that has to be done, the responsibilities that need to happen will happen. And there's joy in accomplishing things together.
That they have this keen sense of identifying the right leaders in the community and bringing them together to create this synergy that happens amongst them so that we can mobilize our community. There are so many benefits that we all receive as partners being together in the consortium that we wouldn't regularly get alone. We are able to do more efficiently with less energy, so that we can do this long term and hopefully sustain these services over generations to come. resources that I may not have in my personal life or in my community, I can easily call on any one of my partners, and they would be more than happy to step forward and offer it, or give me a connection and a referral to somebody else who could help me. And so I think the networking aspect of CHSS is probably the most powerful that we have, and that people are just so loving and willing to help and step up for not just their community, but any community that needs it.
We have so many different people participating in so many different things, and our reach is so far. So I think the major results is that it's not just us, it's not just those we directly touch, but it goes so far beyond that we don't even know.
You know, to see the partners really develop really good relationships with each other, and to see an email come out that says, I'm going to have this event, does anybody have? And everybody, I was shocked. Within a couple of hours, all the different partners had responded. We can bring this, we can do that. Whatever they have, they're willing to put in and to share. And to me, that's what's really going to make a difference.
Ready. So we're going to start over here, and I'm going to tell you the route. You're not going to walk a mile, because I can't even do that.
Hi, I'm Lexer Chow, and I'm the Student Life Coordinator here at Leeward Community College. Our mission with Love Pono is to educate, advocate, provide resources for our students, not only just our students, but for our faculty and staff regarding specifically intimate partner violence, so IPV, domestic violence, and sex assault.
I got started with this organization through meeting Lexer, actually through an event that I was part of with my last semester's Women's Studies class. Since I've been part of this organization, it's great. It's impacted me greatly because I've had my own experiences with domestic violence. So it's kind of been a healing journey for me, and I'm grateful to use my experience to give back in a way that's positive and let other survivors know that they're not alone.
I've learned a lot from our faculty that are on our committee. So there are sociologists and our women's studies professors on the campus, and they're fantastic. We don't want to make this a women's issue. So as an example, our walk today, the national organization is Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. But we kind of change it to walk a mile in their shoes, that women aren't the only ones that are affected by DV and IPV, that men are too.
Women as well, please walk with us. So you can choose either different slippers, because again, the whole concept is to walk in someone else's shoes.
There's obviously a huge issue and concern, especially on college campuses, with teen dating and sex assaults that happens on college campuses. And we just want to be that committee that's the main resource that students, faculty, and staff can go to.
So Made in Hope started as addressing the issue of human trafficking. It really was a simple beginning of helping some women in the Philippines who were coming out of prostitution and trafficking situations to have a livelihood, a sustainable livelihood by them doing handcrafts, and we were just sort of marketing that.
I've been with Made in Hope for about 4 years, and the work that I do is more just being able to engage with communities, being able to give awareness about education about the issue on human trafficking.
Awareness is probably, I think that's the first place you start. That gets people like talking about the issue, that gets people educated about what goes on. As far as the issue of human trafficking in Hawaii, I think, and in the United States and probably a lot of places in the world, I think it's such a hidden in plain sight, I guess, kind of issue. If you look for it, you'll find it. If you're not looking for it, you probably won't see it. We can't come up with all the ideas and the solutions ourselves. There's no way we have that kind of brain power. So again, it comes back to a community way of addressing the issue, like how do we put all our heads together and what things can we do to address this issue?
The plan is to walk in a single file line, and we're going to walk to the gym, and we have the farthest walk, so we're going to have a brisk walk. Hi, my name is Alan Bartolome. I'm a longtime resident of Waipahu. And so Waipahu Stronger Than Violence is a movement here in Waipahu to eradicate violence, to be peacemakers, and to promote healthy relationships.
We would meet like every Thursday night and just have discussions about things we can do to change the negative impacts that's been going on in our community.
Today's event was all about providing awareness to what domestic violence is in Waipahu. And not only in Waipahu, but locally here on the island of Oahu and also nationwide and worldwide.
So there, in 7.5 seconds, there's someone out there who is being affected by domestic violence. And 1 out of 4 women, there's someone out there who has been affected by domestic violence. 1 out of 7 men has been affected by domestic violence in his lifetime. 1 out of 3 teens has also been affected by it.
Some of the past events that we had included a kendama contest. That's when kendamas are hot, and so we gave away free kendamas to everyone that came in, and we just talked about healthy relationships and talked about anti-bullying, especially with the young people. We also did another event where we had the launch of Waipahu Stronger Than Violence, and we gave away shirts, we gave away all types of swag, if you will, and also had a lot of resources to connect people with. We've also done sign waving, and so we have a basketball team called the Court Kings. The Court Kings started with some boys from the community looking for a place to play basketball, because when they were coming to the gym, they were being harassed, they were being bullied, they were even being forced into doing things that they didn't want to do. And so they're looking for a safe place to play basketball, and they asked if they could come to our church. We have a basketball court there, and we said, yes, of course, please come and play. And then one of the boys asked me to be their coach, and I said, if you could get more people to come, we need at least 5 to come, and the next day there was 5 of them. And from that first day, we have now about over 20, almost 30 kids coming out at any given practice. And so we just want to use basketball as a means to give the kids something positive to do and to teach them about healthy relationships, teach them how to deal with conflict, and teach them how to deal with violence.
I'm a family outreach worker, and I work with at-risk families out on the Waianae Coast, CPS prevention program. We work with families with children 18 and under on the Waianae Coast from Kahe Point to Kaena Point. There's a lot of domestic violence, so we try to bring the awareness out on this community. There is services that's provided here. It's just families need to know more about the services out here. Not a lot of families out here knows about services.
Our community outreach component is a lot more people in terms of organizations, a lot more volumes of people. So we participate in a lot of community events. Our biggest event, which is partnered by a lot of community organizations, maybe there's 10 of us that pull it together, and we do it every April for Child Abuse and Neglect Prevention Month. It's called Waianae Coast Keiki Spring Fest. We get anywhere from 800 to 1,000 people that come out, and we're really looking at the little ones. So our keiki, getting them school ready. We do it on a school day, so all the older kids are in school. We have about 50 to 60 program participants. More recently, we've done several community baby showers. We call them Healthy and Hapai, getting ready for keiki or getting ready for baby.
With CHSS, we try to provide the domestic violence awareness in the community, because they said in the Filipino and Hawaiian community, there's a lot of domestic violence. So we try to bring the awareness out on this community which has a lot of Hawaiians in it. So we're just trying to spread the awareness out here. This is my job because I love working with people. You know, I like to see good outcomes. You know, I mean, it's not all the time you got good outcomes. It's just a reward, just to see the reward, to just see the family succeed in what they're doing, what they're trying to strive for. So yeah, that's why I like doing this.
Hi, my name is Kevin Tabankuro, and I've been with the org for about 5 years. The first few years, I've been a community volunteer. I believe maybe 2 years ago, I was asked to join the board and serve as a director. So our mission for our organization is to improve the lives of our community residents throughout Ewa Beach. Well, not just Ewa Beach, but the entire Moku Ewa Beach. So like the entire leeward coast. So some of the programs that we've done is with Nakamakai, which is the Ocean Safety and Awareness Program. And they come through Ewa Beach Park twice a year. And what they do for the community is really good. They come down and we teach kids about lifeguard signs, what to look out for. Because some kids growing up, they don't know. So we help them understand the signs and what to look out for. We take them on a double hull canoe and we take them as far out as we can, and we like to turn them around and face land so they can see the connection between the land and the ocean. So what you do on land could affect the way our oceans could become. It's just really good for the community. I mean, like, we never had any of this kind of stuff before growing up. So to actually have the org come out and help out and do these kind of things makes Ever Beach and makes the whole place a bit better. I live and grew up in Ever Beach my entire life, so I've seen some of the issues that we have, like the homelessness, the drug problem. Hopefully through the org we can improve the quality of life over there and make it a better place. I don't remember having a ho'ola program or ukulele class or art after-school art program. You know, art and music is a dying breed in our schools, and we kind of need those kind of things to help spark creativity of the minds of our young children.
Aloha mai kako. My name is Auli'i Aveao, and I am the Po'okumu of Navahine o La'akea, the Women of Sacred Light. The mission of Navahine o La'akea is really, they're just dedicated to educating and healing themselves, their families, and their community at large through cultural traditions and practices, primarily using hula as a vehicle to heal.
Being with La'akea has been a huge blessing in my life. It has really made me feel really confident. I've really enjoyed learning about the Hawaiian culture and all of its traditions, and to be able to partake in those traditions through La'akea has made me feel a little bit more like I'm at home. So to be able to learn all of those dances and to learn their meaning as well, and to be able to share that with other people through hula was a phenomenal experience.
We started the program about 3 years ago. My background has actually been in substance abuse counseling and social work for about 16 years now. And I really wanted to create a group, a safe place where women and their children could come to learn about the Hawaiian culture. I wanted to have a place where we could educate ourselves about current day issues that women face: domestic violence, sexual trauma, grief, chemical dependency, but at the same time wanted to learn about the Hawaiian culture and utilize the traditions and practices of our kupuna to tackle these issues that we have facing us today.
I believe that CHSS creates a culture of value for the community and for its partners. There's a value that's placed on the community that no one gets left behind. There's a culture of value on each other's ideas, situations, and we're all different. Everyone looks different. We all live in different places. We do different things, but there's a value that everyone has, not just on their own ideas, but on all the other ideas. So whether they're moving mountains or moving pebbles, everyone is valued and everyone's work is valued.
The direct results, I believe, that I've seen and witnessed in CHSS with our partners is the connections that's been made. Our partners are having new relationships, exposed to new relationships, and are really growing and strengthening those relationships to be able to be part of something bigger than themselves, and to be able to see the potential, the great potential in each individual.
As it has unfolded, it has been so exciting to see all the creativity of people and of how it pops up in different ways. It starts with participating out on the street in some organization, but then it has taken a very different look in another community.
I think CHSS as a group creates an atmosphere of hope for the community and for people in general. We also have the ability to empower individuals, give those individuals a voice. Some of them are in violent relationships, but for us it's beyond that, because by empowering those individuals, we in turn empower communities, and only then can we move forward and start to defeat the negativity and the violence that exists in our world today.
I would love it if we could continue to bring in more partners and bring in more people, more organizations, more businesses to help us further the mission where we are working together to reach a day when families are free of violence, when communities recognize that IPV or intimate partner violence is a major problem within our communities, and to continue to see all of us take responsibility for being a part of the solution.
For me, the biggest takeaway is how an issue which I've had a personal commitment to has become a community issue. There is a real commitment, and I think beyond the life of our grant, people are still dedicated to doing what they can to spread a no tolerance message, which was our ultimate goal.